TV2 Sports Talk headed down the home stretch of the 2015 high school football season. I'm Bill Morgan, this week focused in on the Indian Valley Braves enjoying another solid campaign. Coming up as this week's edition of TV2 Sports Talk continues, I'll talk with Indian Valley veteran head coach Matt Lancaster about the season so far in 2015 and what's ahead for the Braves as they try to make another playoff push. It's all on the way on your home for television high school sports in the Valley, TV2 Sports Talk.
Woods Tall Timber Resort is a vacation that's close to home. The 7-acre lake is the focal point of the resort with camping May through October. Splash away your summer days at the beach and in the fall enjoy brilliant colors from your own private cottage. Whether you enjoy primitive camping or the amenities of home, Woods Tall Timber Resort has it all. Luxurious cottages feature equipped kitchens, a full bathroom, and room for 8 guests. The resort includes a clubhouse, concession stand, bait shop, shower house, and laundromat. And the recreation never ends. Enjoy summer fun on water slides, inflatable trampolines, paddle boats, and electric boats, plus house rentals, fishing, game room, playground, woodpecker par 3 golf, and miniature golf, and of course hiking trails. And now Woods Tall Timber Resort has zip lines. It's the best value around for this exciting way to fly. Rides start at just $15. Small zips and kiddie zips are also available. And the Lake House Lodge can accommodate your party, reception, reunion, or event. Check out all of the fun online at woodstalltimberlake.com.
WJER and TV2 would like to introduce you to a new website, WJERTV2.com, where you can watch exciting high school football, soccer, and volleyball replays from TV2 Sports on your home computer, smartphone, or tablet. Also watch the latest episodes of TV2's original programming, Sports Talk, The Garden Girl, The Not So Shy Chef, Off the Record, and Medical Minutes, as well as catch up on local community news and search for local businesses. So make sure to check out the new WJERTV2.com community website where everything's local.
TV2 Sports Talk continues on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. I'm Bill Morgan. Our focus this week, Indian Valley Braves football. Happy to be joined by Indian Valley head coach Matt Lancaster. And Coach, as you guys went into this year, and obviously we're headed down to the tail end of the season, but at the beginning of the year, was it at all a rallying point for your team? You guys talked about we went 8-2, a great year a year ago, but didn't get into the postseason in terms of wanting to get back this year.
Oh, definitely. We worked, focused on it all off season and worked real hard to get back there. We felt like our body of work last year was good enough to be a playoff team, going 8-2, and only 2 teams we lost to were undefeated, and in those games we had a chance to win both of them. So definitely we just want to put it in a situation where we control our own destiny this year, and we take care of one of those games last year, we are in the playoffs. So we're trying to take it 1 week at a time and trying to put it in our hands to control our own destiny this year.
Coach, prior to you getting here, Indian Valley had certainly had some success from different seasons in the past. You guys have seemed to bring consistency in that success. What in particular have you and the coaching staff done, have the kids bought into to allow you to have that success year after year?
Well, that's one of the big things, and you said it with the coaching staff. My coaches just do a tremendous job, and they've been the same guys I've had here pretty much since the beginning. And now we're getting to the point where I've got past players coming back, and Matt Carroll and Robbie Anderson that are on staff. So these guys, we know what we're doing as far as what each other's doing, and we work well as a staff. But beyond that, our kids work tremendously hard, and we get great support from our parents. Our parents. I couldn't ask for better, group of parents that just hand their kids over to us and say, coach them up, whatever you got to do. And we don't have to deal with a lot of off-field issues when it comes to that.
Indian Valley head coach Matt Lancaster, our guest on WJER and TV2 Sports Talk, our focus on Braves football this week. Coach, when you talk about the success last year going into this year, your only blemish this year, the beginning of the year. Since then, you guys have ripped off consecutive wins. What are you guys doing best as you get ready to head down to the home stretch?
Well, we've just gotten better every week. Our defense is coming along and doing what they're coached to do, and playing with physical effort. And we kind of had to figure out who we were after 4 years of having Jake Davis and knowing what you got there. We kind of had to figure out our offensive identity. So as the first couple weeks progressed, we started to figure out what we had and who we are as an offense. So that game has started to develop as well as our defense.
Coach, as we talk about, I guess, looking down these final 3 weeks of the season, your goals are ahead of you in terms of winning a conference championship, getting into the postseason. You talk about what you guys have done well, anything you're working on in the practice field behind us in the coming days that will allow you to maybe smooth off some rough edges.
Yeah, definitely. Everything's in front of us that we want to achieve still. Just taking it 1 week at a time is the key, but there's definitely a lot of little things we need to improve upon. Little drive killers that can set us back, especially against quality opponents like we have coming up here towards the end of the season. So just shoring up some little things and continue to get better at what we do, both offensively and defensively are a focus for us.
Tell us about a little bit of a change in the conference, certainly with Timken closing and merging. You guys had to go out and pick up Beaver Local. Has that affected anything in terms of competitiveness of the conference, or is it pretty much what you expected going into the year?
It's pretty much what we expected going into the year. I don't know that it's changed anything. It seems like a lot of the Pac schools are picking up a win against their the opponent that they picked up for a non-conference, so that's good for the league.
Indian Valley head coach Matt Lancaster, our guest on TV2's Sports Talk. You can watch the show Wednesday evenings at 7 o'clock, Friday afternoons at 5, and at other playback times throughout the course of the week. Check those out online at WJER-TV2.com. Coach, when you got into coaching, you were an assistant at Strasburg prior to coming here to Indian Valley. I guess take us back even to your high school days about the differences in the game. Are there a lot of differences in the X's and O's in terms of the way the game is played now? Do you think it's pretty much the same and not really a whole lot different?
Well, some places it's different, but here it's a lot the same. From Coach Hurst, we run a lot of the same stuff because we're kind of a dinosaur, especially offensively when it comes to what we do, because we run a lot of old formations, and we're going to run the ball. You might know what's coming, but you still got to stop it, and that was kind of Coach Hurst's mentality. And so we're kind of old school when it comes to that. I'd say that the changes are definitely in the time that's involved. It used to be once football season was over, you moved on to the next season, and then it's pretty much a year-round thing with the coaches and the kids. We encourage our kids to play 3 sports, all of them, but at the same time we're going to work year-round in the off-season, as well as technology. I think there's so much more technology that you can use to make your team a better team, make each kid a better player with the video that we can use, video in practice, video in off-season individual stuff, video in games, obviously, and then kids watching that on their own time and using that to make them the best they can be. I think that's a big change.
Coach, talk to the fans who may not know a little bit about the technology side in terms of maybe back when you and I were in high school, and I was there before you were, but coaches would go and physically hand and exchange films. That was part of the coach's routine on the weekend. You guys really don't have to do that anymore.
No, that's made it pretty nice. With the huddle now, we can exchange film, exchange it throughout the week, and have access to it, and we can send to players, to other coaches on our staff, playlists that they need to watch and assign them, and actually keep track of how much film they do watch minute by minute. So it's definitely a change from the old school with a film strip.
Yeah, there's no more reel-to-reels or anything along those lines, to be sure. Coming up as this week's edition of TV2 Sports Talk focused in on Indian Valley Braves football continues, we'll talk with a couple of players helping to make this team go in the current campaign on TV2 Sports Talk.
As a parent, we always want what's best for our child. In the case of one child, it may be going off to college. In another case, staying home and going to college. And yet, in other cases, it could be going right into the workforce. But how will they have the skills to do that? Buckeye Career Center has been the answer for one of our daughters. She's learning to do things with her hands that are going to be very valuable for her in the workplace. And we're excited we have Buckeye to thank for that.
Adults who return to Buckeye Career Center to continue their education usually have one goal in mind. They want the opportunity for a better job. The fact is, adult education programs at Buckeye Career Center are less expensive, and provide greater opportunities for job placement following graduation. It's your future. Get the facts. Buckeye Career Center. We put people to work. Find out more about your future at buckeyecareercenter.org.
Searching for quality bottled water? Call Crystal Springs Water Company. Crystal Springs Water is a family-owned and operated company that's been proudly serving the community since 1986. Crystal Springs offers a quality bottled water in a variety of sizes to suit your everyday needs. They also carry a selection of water coolers, cups, bottle racks, hydro pumps, and premium water softening salts. All available for pickup or delivery. Call Crystal Springs Water Company today.
TV2 Sports Talk continuing on Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. Talking Indian Valley Braves football this week. Certainly one of the young men helping to propel this team in 2015 is Brady Kotzmeyer. And Brady, I guess sort of talk to us about not necessarily this year. We'll dive into that, but the evolution of you as a player. You've started since you were a freshman. What do you think you've maybe improved the most from ninth grade to this year's senior year?
Definitely in the weight room. These past 2 years, I put a lot of emphasis on growing in the weight room, becoming stronger, becoming a better teammate, with my teammates, pushing them to their limits, which, them pushing me has just made me as good as I can be. So just the whole emphasis in the off season, not necessarily out here on the field.
I guess talk to us about playing on both sides of the ball. You started as a freshman on defense. You've played a lot of defense, but this year, obviously, you're in the mix on offense in a key way. How important has that been this year?
Definitely important. We have great skill players, great linemen. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do as best, to do as good as I can, do my best every single play in practice, lead the team offensively and defensively. But definitely this year offensively, it was a little bit different to get into at first. But after I got the hold of it, I took control, and I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job.
Indian Valley's Brady Kotzmeyer, our guest on TV2 Sports Talk here on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. Now, having said that, playing both sides of the ball, which one do you like better? You like lighting people up in the secondary on defense? You like calling the signals on offense?
Definitely defense. This year we have a very, very strong edge defense, physical. We've kind of made a name for ourselves. So definitely on that side of the ball, not as much thinking, just going out there and playing with my teammates and having fun.
Take us off the field with you. You, like all the seniors here, going to be graduating in the spring. What are your plans as you look ahead, both from maybe going academically, going to college, maybe getting a job, maybe playing sports in college? Tell us a little bit about you from that regard.
I definitely want to pursue a college degree. Not sure what in it yet, but then I want to play football too, if possible. That's definitely one of my dreams, is just becoming. I'm making myself into a great student and a great athlete now, so I want to pursue those dreams down the road.
Brady Kotzmeyer, as I mentioned, our guest on TV2 Sports Talk. And Brady, as we wrap up our conversation with you, we do a little investigating, we do a little figuring out when we come out and do these shows, and we understand that Coach Lancaster sort of has a strange tradition as it applies to Wednesdays when we happen to be recording this show. Tell the folks watching a little bit about that.
Yeah, he wears dress shoes out to the field instead of your regular tennis shoes, and this all started 4 or 5 years ago. During one of our big weeks, and he forgot his tennis shoes at home, so he wore his dress shoes to practice, and we ended up getting a big win. So every single Wednesday since then, he's been wearing his dress shoes out to the field.
Now, we did further research. Can you confirm or deny that the one time you guys lost this year in week 1, he forgot to wear his dress shoes Sandy Valley week?
That is true. It was the first week, and he completely forgot, and he put on tennis shoes, and he left his dress shoes actually in his classroom. So, yes, that is true. So it makes the superstition very, 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 very reliable.
Coach will never forget to put those dress shoes again on Wednesdays. Brady, thanks for that insight. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Coming up as TV2 Sports Talk continues, we'll talk with another of the Indian Valley Braves, helping this team to a great start as they head down the home stretch in the 2015 season on DMG Channel 2.
Well, I woke up to the sound of silence and cars. We're cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I found you with a tear in your eye, your head in the curtains and heart like the 4th of July.
You swore and said, we are not shining stars. This I know. I never said we are.
If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground. Carry on. Carry on, carry on. We are shining stars. Carry on, carry on. We are who we are.
WJER and TV2 would like to introduce you to a new website, WJERTV2.com, where you can watch exciting high school football, soccer, and volleyball replays from TV2 Sports on your home computer, smartphone, or tablet. Also watch the latest episodes of TV2's original programming, Sports Talk, The Garden Girl, The Not So Shy Chef, Off the Record, and Medical Minutes, as well as catch up on local community news and search for local businesses. So make sure to check out the new WJERTV2.com community website where everything's local.
TV2 Sports Talk, it is the political season. You have to have equal time, right? You've got the quarterback on. You've got to have one of the guys blocking for him up front. Certainly we've got one of those, and Senior Kobe Cool, one of the captains on this team. Tell us a little bit about your responsibilities. You go both sides of the ball, but offensively, what are your biggest charges in terms of things Coach has to have you do on a Friday night?
We can't get our name called. If our number's called, that means we did something wrong. Our most important job is to get the guys who carry the ball their name in the paper, because that means we did what we need to do. And if we score, we know it's on us, but we let them get the spotlight.
Tell us a little bit about, when you talk about getting better as a player, a 3-year starter, where do you think you've improved most from when you began as a regular starter in the 10th grade? You got some playing time as a 9th grader, but to where you are now, headed down into the last several weeks of your high school career.
Actually understanding the game. I think as a freshman and 10th grader, I kind of just did what I was supposed to. Now I'm able to lead and help others around me if they don't understand. Knowing what your opponent's going to do really helps pre-snap, so you can adjust what you're going to do according to them.
When you talk about being ready, how much does a film study, play a role in that? Coach was talking to us earlier in the show about technology being what it is now. How much film work will you do individually during a week?
We watch it every day as a team, and then depending on how many games we have on that specific opponent, you can go home and study your position and what the people around you have to do, so you can be sure of what your task is.
Kobe Cool, our guest as we talk TV2 Sports Talk and Indian Valley Braves football this week on Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. Coach, I'm sure as you guys head into, as we mentioned, the final weeks of the regular season, says, hey, guys, this you're doing well. This we've got to do better to clinch a conference championship, to get back into the playoffs. What are those things you guys need to work on in the final couple of weeks?
We just have to stay focused on one opponent at a time. We can't look forward to the playoffs or the PAC championship. We just have to beat the team that we play in that Friday. If we wake up and we're 1-0 on Saturday, we did our job.
And when you talk about, staying that one-game focus, is that hard? We hear coaches say that all the time, one game at a time. But, boy, when you want to get back into the playoffs after you guys were this close a year ago, is it challenging or is it not challenging to have that one-game focus?
Yeah, there's that always big game in the next few weeks that you always want to look forward to. But, if you don't focus on the game that you have this week, then that game won't matter as much.
Kobe, certainly thanks for your time. Best of luck down the stretch.
Thank you.
It is all a part of TV2 Sports Talk, and coming up as this week's show continues, we'll talk more with Indian Valley head coach Matt Lancaster on Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable.
We're always looking for better ways to do things. But with some banks, better for them isn't always better for you.
You've
reached Megabank. Press 1 to hear your current balance. Press 2 to hear these options again.
Introducing free Kasasa checking. When you do stuff for us, like swipe your debit card or get e-statements, we make it even better for you with cash back and refunds on ATM fees. Kasasa, carried locally at First Federal Community Bank. Do you, Kasasa?
Hi, I'm Elaine Miller with Naturally Green Cleaning Service. My company serves both commercial and residential clients. We do general cleaning, spring and fall, empty homes to get them move-in ready, and final cleans for new construction. We use eco-friendly cleaning products that leave your home or office fresh, clean, and safe for you, your family, pets, or coworkers. Our focus at Naturally Green is to provide excellent customer service paired with outstanding work to build a relationship of trust with you, our clients. Having served the area 4+ years, we have had many referrals and testimonials that you can access on our website at www.naturallygreencs.com. Our work sells itself, therefore we have never had any contracts even with our largest commercial accounts. Call us today for your free quote and see what makes our company stand out.
TV2 Sports Talk, talking Indian Valley Braves football this week as we head down the final weeks of the high school football regular season. Back to visiting with Indian Valley head coach Matt Lancaster. Coach, during the first part of our conversation, we talked about your offense and, hey, we still do things sort of the old school way, but we have success doing it. I guess talk to us about your offense, the guys who start and play key roles for the team.
Well, for us, it all starts up front with our offensive line. You know, we've got 4 seniors up front that have just done a tremendous job, and 1 sophomore up there, our center, Elijah Lancer, and returning starter, our 2 guards, Alec Love and Justin Martinelli, and our senior tackle who started for 3 years, Kobe Cool. And Dylan Fanton, a sophomore. They just come to work every day, and you know, they know it starts with them, and if we're having success, it's because of them, and if we're not, it's because of them. You know, so but having a stable of kids that we feel are pretty explosive playmakers too, I think have helped our offense rather than being one-dimensional, focused on 1 or 2 players. You know, having Brady Kotzmeyer being able to do it with his feet and his arm, as well as Corey Carlisle and Ross Love, both running the ball and catching the ball. There's some games that we have all 3 of them over 100 yards rushing, and that's tough to stop as a defense if you can focus in on 1 or 2 guys. But when you've got a couple more guys that can do it, I think that's what made our offense go this year.
Coach, let's go back to the offensive line. You know, when the people on TV or who write for the newspaper, who talk on the radio, they're going to say Kotzmeyer's name more. They're going to say Ross Love's name more. I guess, what do you guys do as coaches to try and keep the kids on the offensive line? I know they're aware of it, but to keep them fired up, because to be honest, when it comes to reading it in the paper or hearing it on TV, you hear the quarterback's name, you hear the running back's name more. How do you let those guys on the offensive line know, hey, we appreciate the yeoman's work you do down in the pits?
Well, our guys that do get all the recognition, they do a good job of that, and they're recognized in the offensive line. And if they're asked about it after game, they're giving the credit to the offensive line because they know they're the guys doing the hard work up front. So we do it as coaches as well, and we try to bring those guys that do get the recognition down to earth a little bit. But they do a good job of giving the credit, to the offensive line themselves.
Coach, before we dive into the defense, talk to us a little bit about special teams. A lot of these games sometimes when you're playing, especially against a better opponent, can be decided on a punt attempt, on a field goal attempt, on trying to play defense on a kick or a punt return. Tell us about your special teams.
Yeah, and that's been a focus for us as well. Coach Bowen does a tremendous job with our special teams, and our kids take a lot of pride in it and in practicing it. It's come up big for us throughout the years. 2 years ago, in a second-round playoff game, we essentially won the game on a fake punt. So there's been some key things. Just this year, we had a onside kick that we got on a second possession, and we ended up being up 14-0, and the other team hadn't even run a play yet. So special teams can be big, and our kids take a lot of pride in getting that done. Although that's an area, there's still some things we need to shore up this year.
Defense, of course, at least the cliched saying is defense wins championships. Tell us about the Braves for 2015 on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, we felt coming into the year we were going to have some learning curve with our offense, and so we expected our defense to step up and carry us until we got on our feet offensively, and I think they've for the most part done that. we've 7 guys back on defense starting from last year. It starts out with Alec Love at linebacker, was third on the team in tackles last year, and he's come back to lead us both physically and emotionally, communicating on defense. Brady Kotzmeyer at safety. This is his 4th year starting. He started as a freshman. You know, this kid's been in some big playoff games and a lot of important games, and definitely has done a nice job for us. Elijah Lancer up front. Has just been a terror on the defense. He's tough to block on the defensive line. He's already broke the school records in sacks this year. And for a defensive lineman who's not expected to get a lot of tackles, he's third on the team in tackles. So we've got a lot of kids that are doing it defensively for us. Both our outside linebackers are back this year in Jaden Helder and Dalton Bolin that do a tremendous job. And when you have Ross Love at corner, you've got things clicking defensively.
Indian Valley Braves football, our focus this week on TV2 Sports Talk from DMG Channel 2 on Time Warner Cable. I guess, Coach, when you sit down with your team each year, not only prior to this season, but at the beginning of a year, what kind of goals do you outline for the team? Does it change much from year to year, or is it generally the same?
It's generally the same. You know, every year we want to compete, and we want to our goal is to win the league, and our goal is to make it to the playoffs. And if we accomplish those things, then we'll take whatever we get in the playoffs beyond that.
Coach, I guess talk to us a little bit about you off the field. We've talked for years now. You've been the head coach here. You're an assistant at Strasburg. And I believe from talking to you and texting with you, you have sons who play the game.
Oh, yeah. My son, matter of fact, I've only got to see a half this year because he's in 7th grade. JD's our oldest. He's in 7th grade, and this is his first time playing middle school football. Unfortunately, he's got a game tonight. We'll have practice. I won't be there, but I'll make sure it's videotaped and get to watch it on the huddle. Cole is in 6th grade, and he also is playing football as well as other sports. And my daughter Macy is in 3rd grade, and she's involved in gymnastics and softball and basketball, and it's just go, go, go for all of us.
Coach, when your boys get here, will you continue to coach them? Some dads say, you know what, I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait. Some dads say, you know what, I might step back. Do you have a game plan for that since it'll be here in a few years? You know what,
it will be a challenge. It'll be a challenge to coach them. But I don't know that I'd want anybody else to do it. I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy what the coaching staff that I work with and the rest of the kids. And so my goal is to stick around and although it might be challenging to separate, being a father from a coach when we go home for supper, I'm sure we'll figure out a way to work it out.
Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Best of luck as this regular season winds up.
Thanks a lot.
Our focus this week, Indian Valley Braves football on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. Be sure to continue to watch our regular season football play-by-play action, and also headed into the postseason when the 2015 playoffs kick off as well here on your home for television high school sports in the Valley, DMG Channel 2 on Time Warner Cable.